Hello everybody, Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and welcome to another episode of LEGO Star Wars 20 for 20. This is where I take a look at something year by year in the world of LEGO Star Wars for the 20th anniversary. This time we're going to be taking a look at the largest LEGO set by piece count every year since 1999. Obviously we can't count 2019 because it hasn't happened yet, or at least all of it. The biggest set is yet to be released, let's just say that. So that leaves us with the other 20 years. 2018 would be the 21st set on this list, so we're going to take a look at the previous 20, starting with 1999. That set is the 7171 Mos Espa Pod Race. We started out pretty modestly with LEGO Star Wars back in the day. 896 pieces. We didn't even crack 1,000 pieces in the first year for $90, and it's a pretty neat set. Uses a lot of basic bricks. Nothing really to write home about here, but it was the first biggest LEGO Star Wars set, so for at least a year it held that title until 2000 rolled around with the 7191 X-Wing Starfighter, which was a UCS set including 1,300 pieces, which eclipsed the previous record holder of the Mos Espa Pod Race. So that set only got to hold the title of largest set for 1 year for LEGO Star Wars until 2000 came around. The X-Wing fighter did cost $150. That was pretty pricey back then for 1,300 pieces in my opinion, but it was still a really huge model, a cool model back in the day, but not that great by today's standards. 2001 rolled around and we had a new largest LEGO Star Wars set. Shockingly, the 10018 Darth Maul eclipsed the previous record holder, the X-Wing Starfighter, with 1,868 pieces for $150. So much better price per piece there than the previous largest set from LEGO Star Wars, but this thing is, as Brickatech says, one of the scariest LEGO sets ever. It's a very true-to-life Darth Maul bust, and for that reason I think a lot of people love it. It's a set that I don't own, but one day wish to own for sure. Very cool set from back in the day, and I hope LEGO does more stuff like that in the future. Come 2002, the largest set became the 10030 Imperial Star Destroyer. It was also the largest set of the year, so running up to 2002 from 1999, every year the sets for LEGO Star Wars got larger. At least the largest set got larger, if that makes sense. Coming in at $300 with 3,096 pieces, this behemoth of a LEGO Star Wars set, especially for 2002, is just an epic thing. Like, a lot of people look back fondly on this one, and we should be getting a new one this year. That's might have been what I was hinting at earlier in the episode here. But yes, this set is awesome. 3,096 pieces, the biggest set of 2002. What a model. Just an absolute beauty. One day I need to buy that. 2003 was the first year we didn't see a bigger LEGO Star Wars set than the previous year, but the biggest set of 2003 was the 10129 UCS Rebel Snowspeeder, including 1,457 pieces for $130 at the time. This model isn't that great by today's standards. I would say it's quite overrated by a lot of people, but it's still a nice model. It's one that I don't own, but yeah, not that great by today's standards. Decent back in the day. Too blocky for me. 2004 rolled around and we saw the 10134 Y-Wing Attack Starfighter with 1,473 pieces. This set was an excellently detailed model with great piece usage, using nice curvature to really get the shape of the Y-Wing down. Absolutely love this model. It was the biggest set of the year back in 2004, and it's definitely one I regret never buying for $120 back in the day. Costs quite a bit more now. Come 2005, we saw the record for largest LEGO Star Wars set once again eclipsed with the 10143 Death Star 2. Unfortunately, not the Death Star 1 with all the panels. Maybe one of these days we'll get one of those, but this one was kind of the during construction Death Star, so it kind of had that cool kind of funky look to it that gave it some real character, I suppose, as a LEGO set. Maybe that's what makes this one such a cool set compared to one that would just be straight up panels on the outside. Maybe there is something to that, but this set was really cool, had the very awesome and very long laser coming out of it. No minifigures or anything like that, but it was the biggest set of 2005 for $300 with 3,441 pieces once again, so you couldn't really go wrong with that one. In 2006, we saw a major step back. Didn't really see anything that huge with only 1,367 pieces, although I think it's 66 pieces. Brickset has it with 67. The box says 66. I'm confused. The point remains, though, it was the biggest set of 2006, and honestly, it's a really cool set, but you would think after, the Imperial Imperial Star Destroyer and the Death Star and all those other cool UCS sets we've been getting in the previous years, there would have been a bigger UCS set this year. Nope, the biggest set was just a play set, and that's fine, I guess. Like, there's nothing really wrong with that. It just happened to be that way for $100, 1,366 pieces. But yes, a very cool set nonetheless, with plenty of play features and minifigures to go around. With 2007, we saw what would become the biggest LEGO Star Wars set for quite some time. It finally overtook the Death Star 2 from a few years prior, the 10179 UCS Millennium Falcon, a legendary LEGO Star Wars set with 5,197 pieces. This set would hold the belt for the next 10 years. A little spoiler there, I guess, for some of the upcoming sets. They aren't going to eclipse this, shocker. But yes, $500 for this set was the most expensive LEGO set at the time as well, like ever. That was pretty shocking for a lot of people, and for that reason, honestly, I don't think this one sold very well. It was on sale a lot, and I think at one point it was half off from LEGO, so you don't see that a lot from LEGO sets, especially LEGO Star Wars, so half off was not a good sign for this thing. It didn't sell well for whatever reason. I don't think the market was ready for a $500 LEGO set in 2007, and obviously that has changed nowadays, but yes, the 5,197 piece LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon, largest set of 2007 and largest set of the decade, or until 2017, which we'll be getting to a little bit later on. 2008's biggest set was the UCS Death Star, kind of UCS, kind of not UCS. I don't know where to really put this one. 3,803 pieces for this massive play set. Obviously a ton of minifigures and fun play features worked into this set as well, made for an awesome package for $400. Moving swiftly into 2009, the largest set is probably one of my favorite sets of all time, and maybe some of yours, the 10195 Republic Dropship with AT-OT Walker, 1,758 pieces for $250 at the time. This set, of course, combined displayability with some awesome functionality and playability, where you could attach and detach the AT-OT from the dropship. You could carry it around with the handle. They both had handles, actually. You had plenty of clone troopers to go around and attack some droids from other LEGO sets. So this was a fun set for $250 with 1,758 pieces, biggest set of 2009. 2010's biggest set was the 10212 UCS Imperial Shuttle, $260 with 2,503 pieces. This is one of the most elegant and beautiful LEGO Star Wars models created to date. No bias here. The minifigures aren't that great by today's standards, but the model certainly holds up. It had both a stand for display, and it had little landing gear for display in a different way if you didn't really have the space to put it on the stand, or if you just preferred it that way. So it was a fun set, had a great little cockpit area as well where you could fit all the minifigs. So 10 out of 10 on the UCS Imperial Shuttle from 2010 with 2,503 pieces. 2011's biggest set was the Super Star Destroyer, set 10221, 3,152 pieces for $400, 5 minifigs there. It is a very lengthy model. It might be the longest LEGO Star Wars model ever. I'm not really measuring size by that. We're doing size by piece count in this video, but yes, this was a very big LEGO Star Wars model. I think it was over a yard long. It's about a meter. Very cool set, very big set with 3,152 pieces. Deceptively small piece count, I would say. 2012's biggest set was the UCS R2-D2, and interestingly enough, it was the biggest set, but it wasn't the most expensive set of 2012. The most expensive set that year was the UCS B-Wing for $200 with 1,487 pieces. However, the R2-D2 had more pieces with 2,127 pieces, costing just $180. The obvious disparity there is that the B-Wing uses much larger pieces. So yes, UCS R2-D2, very cool set, very fun, displayable set, and it actually had quite a bit of playability and fun features packed inside of it that you really wouldn't expect from a LEGO set, so great job by LEGO on that one. 2013's biggest set, once again, reigns as the most expensive set of the year, as you would expect. 1,990 pieces with 17 minifigures, $250. It's the 10236 Ewok Village. This set, of course, has a ton of play features as well as a ton of minifigures. 17, once again, is just a ton to have in a set. You don't see that too often, and it was warranted here. Fun set overall. I actually have this one in my collection. I haven't built it yet, though, so I'm waiting to do that. Same with the Super Star Destroyer that I mentioned earlier, so definitely a couple of good sets on this list that I have yet to build. Would love to build one of these days and have my collection on the shelf. Come 2014, we saw a huge LEGO Star Wars Sandcrawler, the 75059 Sandcrawler to be exact. UCS, of course. 3,296 pieces for $300. Once again, ton of minifigures in the set with 14, ton of playability and displayability in the set. I love when sets can do both, and this is definitely one of those that can. 10 out of 10 by LEGO on that Sandcrawler. Absolutely a beautiful, excellent, well done model with some of those fun building techniques I've ever seen on a LEGO set, to be honest. I had a lot of fun building that set a few months back. In 2015, we saw what was the biggest and, of course, the most expensive set of the year, the UCS Slave 1 set 75060, including 1,996 pieces. The 5 minifigures being Han Solo and Carbonite, Boba Fett, a Bespin Guard, and a Stormtrooper. $200 was the retail price, and this is one of the best LEGO Star Wars sets ever, in both my opinion and I think largely the opinion of the community. It's just one of those great ones, and I honestly think it's underrated. I really think people have been sleeping on this for a few years, and I think in a couple years when this is going for like $400 on eBay, people are going to start to realize that they've missed out if they didn't buy this. So yes, very cool UCS set from 2015, biggest set of the year. Biggest set of the year in 2016 was the UCS Death Star, costing $500 with 4,016 pieces. This is pretty much a straight up re-release of the 2008 version that we saw earlier on this list. All they did was really update the minifigures, and apparently they updated some building techniques and that Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, but really not much else. It's largely the same, which is fine, but yeah, $500 was expensive for 4,016 pieces, still in my opinion. Very cool set, just not my cup of tea. And finally, we get to 2017. I did mention that there was a bigger set coming, and finally in 2017 we saw that set, the 75192 UCS Millennium Falcon II, costing $800 for 7,541 pieces. What an insane price on that thing. That is an insane model, and honestly, I think it's sold way better than the first UCS Millennium Falcon, just by virtue of it not being half price on Lego.com yet. So very awesome set. It's absolutely just one of the most gorgeous LEGO Star Wars sets. Once again, a lot of the sets on this list are, they can really do a lot when they put a lot of pieces into it, and I absolutely love this model. I think a lot of people really like this UCS set. So yes, it's the biggest set of both 2017 and ever for LEGO Star Wars, and we probably won't see a bigger one for quite some time. And finally, the final year, the biggest set of 2018 was the 75222 Betrayal at Cloud City with 2,812 pieces, 21 minifigs, quite a few. $350 was the price on this one. Very nice set, a lot of playability in this one. Obviously not the most beautiful set for display, it's kind of all over the place as far as that is concerned, but it is one of the most fun and well put together play sets ever, in my opinion. Very similar to some of the Death Stars that we've had. Just a really cool set for people that want to have all the scenes from Cloud City in one place. We'll quickly go back through the belt holders of the biggest LEGO Star Wars set ever. First, it was the Mos Espa Pod Race, held it in 1999, quickly giving it up to the UCS X-Wing in 2000, which once again gave it up to the Darth Maul bust in 2001, which in turn again the next year gave it up to the Imperial Star Destroyer from 2002. That set actually held it for a few years until the 2005 UCS Death Star 2 came around, which was only able to hold on to that belt of biggest LEGO Star Wars set for the next couple years. When the Millennium Falcon came out in 2007, the big UCS one obviously, that one held the belt for biggest LEGO Star Wars set for a decade. And of course, back in 2017, we saw the UCS Millennium Falcon II come out at $800 with 7,541 pieces, which has been the biggest set since then. And I honestly expect it to be the biggest set for a long time. I don't know what LEGO would make that would be bigger and more expensive than a UCS Millennium Falcon. There's nothing I could fathom that LEGO could sell for $1,000 right now, although I'm sure that could have been said for $800 price point a decade ago. So we'll see. Maybe in a decade from now there will be a bigger LEGO Star Wars set, but I honestly feel like the UCS Millennium Falcon will be the biggest one for quite some time. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts or opinions down in the comments section below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.